Worst of all is the risk of our security organizations putting too much faith in their technology alone. This is a very human tendency, by the way, and one that history has shown to pay poor dividends. The great risks of attempts at total surveillance is that it presents itself not as a tool, but as a solution. It actually diverts, that's the worst part. It actually diverts resources away from things that we can do to actually make people safe. Canada has been well known in the past for promoting human rights internationally, but its voice unfortunately has flattered in recent years. It has become clear that we no longer have our own voice as a nation. It is as if Canada has learned to accommodate, unfortunately, to look the other way as human rights are abused, to see our self-interest in the approval of the American government. And there are many examples that you can point to. You know, the treatment of prisoners in Afghanistan is one good live example. Our troops, unfortunately, have allegedly been involved in torturing detainees. And there's a current government initiative to try to prevent disclosure of public information about what exactly happened. Having lost our own moral compass hand in hand with the previous US administration, it seems that all we can do at the present is wait and see if the new US administration hands it back to us and gives us permission to again value human rights and civil liberties. This seems to be our reality, unfortunately, our national reality. But it isn't right. This is not right. There is no bravery in it, and there is no integrity in it. It is not the Canada that I know. We do not need permission to reclaim our national character. In our dealings with other nations, we must insist that torture and other lawless behavior in the name of protecting national security is not acceptable. We cannot We simply cannot look the other way while our partners in national security crush human rights. Our government's silence on these issues is inexcusable. The issue of Guantanamo Bay is a concrete example. While all Western democracies have asked for the closing of Guantanamo Bay and the repatriation of their citizens, our own government has been silent on this issue. Is it not time for our government to ask for the repatriation of Omar Khadr? The last Western citizen languishing in Guantanamo Bay. Is it not time for our government to understand that it is no more about what Omar Khadr did or did not do? It is about us as a nation, about what we did or did not do. Prime Minister Harper still has time. He's meeting with President Obama next week. It is my hope that he will raise this issue with him. We can only hope. As I have mentioned, we have done a great deal to accommodate the needs of the heightened American security. We have adapted our national security policy to work with our American agencies, or with the American agency. We have also increased our border security. We have even gone so far as to develop a no-fly list that is based on the American model. And this was developed in close cooperation with American security agencies. We have done a great deal, both in terms of spending, restructuring, and communicating with our security partners. However, it is time now to very carefully examine our national security policy, our relationships with our partners, and our practices and laws. We need to do this while respecting human rights, instead of regardless of human rights. And most importantly, we need to do this as a sovereign and responsible nation. If we proceed in spending our resources building a surveillance state without investing in oversight, we will have gained a certain type of security, the same sense of security enjoyed by Syria and other dictatorships. We can learn to live like citizens in these countries do, anxious, suspicious, and closed off. One effective way, in my opinion, of eradicating terrorism that is often ignored by our politicians is to play a role in stabilizing and strengthening of the political and economic infrastructure of many of the poorer nations of the world. In this way, we will not only be investing in their security, but in ours as well. In addition, we need to examine what we can do at home to help Canadians understand each other better. We need to show Canadians in very concrete ways that cultural or religious differences between communities should not be seen as an obstacle or threat, but as an opportunity to further enrich Canadian society. Furthermore, we need greater involvement by citizens. You have a lot to offer in the debate on civil liberties, human rights, and their connection to national security. The real lesson for the past 7 years is that our security laws affect all of us. Because we are all affected, we must have a truly open and inclusive debate about these laws and practices. A debate that embraces all Canadians, regardless of their political, religious, or cultural identities. I believe we still have time to catch up. Canada was seen as a leader in peace and justice. With the help of our minds, hearts, and our commitment to social justice, we can restore that lost reputation. Finally, we need to ensure that what we do in Canada has an impact on the rest of the world. Our voices must be heard globally, and our struggle for justice should know no boundaries. As Martin Luther King has said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Thank you very much.